Good morning.
Hi, Cotton.
What's up?
It's not really morning, but whatever.
Never
Fine.
is.
Well, one time. We had one episode was in the morning.
Fair enough.
Hi,
Donuts.
everybody. Welcome to Lost in Louisville, a food podcast where we scour the streets of Louisville, Kentucky, looking for the best grub to let you know if it's worth it. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I'm Bob.
I'm Cotton.
Before we get into any of today's business, Cotton, I think we should talk about the sad thing that happened that did not allow us to go where we wanted to go for this episode.
So we were gonna go to a place which we will go eventually.
I want to go.
Should
It's
we
very
say
good.
the name of the place?
Yeah,
Might
I
as-
don't
might
see.
as
We
well.
should. We should name the place. I don't see why not.
Yeah, we were gonna go to Annie's Cafe, but a water pipe exploded on Woodlawn Avenue,
And they've
so
had-
they've got problems.
Yeah, there's water everywhere, and
Mhm.
they have the street blocked off, so we cannot get over there. So instead, we went to a place that I've been to before because Ben took me there. We went to a place called Check's Cafe, which is in Germantown. It's by a local brewery that I can't remember the name of, but
Oh yeah, I seen it, but I don't remember what it was called.
yeah, I didn't remember what it was called either. Super old, like, I don't want to say historic, but like, it's an old ass restaurant. I think on their website they say they've been there since 1944.
Which
So
is
like
crazy.
the ass end of World War II. That's crazy to me that they've been there that long.
And it doesn't even really look that old.
No.
It looks a little like, I don't know if rustic's the word, but it looks like it's got some age to it.
Yeah, dated. Not dated either because it's not bad.
Right.
It just looks like it's seen some shit.
You
In
may
a good
hear
way.
a lot of comparisons to Kern's because
I did, yeah.
honestly, I mean, it's called Check's Cafe, but really, it's a bar and grill, so maybe it's closer to Rubby's.
I wouldn't even call it a bar and grill. I'd call it a bar. It's not a grill to me at all.
The only reason I say bar and grill is because, yeah, they got a pretty healthy-sized bar. I mean, good
It's
God, they
big.
had a lot of liquor.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of seating for food.
oh,
And
yeah,
if you're at a
tons.
bar, most of the time, you could probably put it closer to a pub.
That's more accurate, maybe.
Yeah, because the only other place that's felt exactly like this that I've gone was a pub that Leonard and I went to in Maryland.
I see. So, yeah, we didn't get to go to Annie, so we went to Check's instead. Like Cotton was saying, it's a very Kern's adjacent sort of vibe. I say Kern's adjacent because, like, it's a bar, but it serves food, like actual food. And also, there's so many old people.
There were a lot of old people. Same with Kern's. There were some younger people at Kern's.
There were some younger people here too, but I mean, it wasn't
Not a
like
lot.
you could tell the crowd for
average
this place.
age. The average age was 55.
Yeah, I would say 50 plus is your average customer here, which is not a bad thing, of course.
No.
Hell, old people, they've been around a long time. They know where the good shit is.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta trust them.
Sometimes I'd be
sometimes.
drinking buttermilk, and I'm like, "There's something wrong with you."
Oh, that reminded me of a story. Holy shit!
Buttermilk reminds you of a story.
Yeah, I had a story about buttermilk.
10-4.
Okay. Fucking radio. Have an ass. Ben, the dude I do the other podcast with, one of my friends from work,
Yeah.
he was telling me that apparently his grandpa used to pour himself a tall glass of buttermilk and
Cornbread in it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
drink it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could never. Buttermilk alone, first of all, does not taste good. It is
No,
not a good
It's
beverage.
bad. Now, making pancakes with buttermilk,
That's
great.
fine because you're not drinking the stuff.
Agreed.
I don't know. Look, okay.
I would
guess
say the cornbread helps. I have done it. My grandparents, they like to do that. And my dad and I, we were talking about that not too long ago. We were just talking about stuff, and somehow buttermilk got brought up. And yeah,
That's
we were
wild.
talking about cooking.
Mm.
And he was talking about cornbread and buttermilk, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I've done it once or twice, and it's not bad. I mean, in general, if I'm having like beans or a meal that you eat cornbread with, I do put my cornbread in milk because I do like it. I like it in regular milk more than I do
I've never done
buttermilk,
that.
though. It's actually not bad. It's weird the first like time. I mean, when you see somebody do it, you're like, "The fuck are you doing?" Like honestly, you look like a moron, dude. What the hell? So yeah, it's weird. It tastes a little different, but don't let it get too soggy.
Hmm.
When it's like if you eat it pretty quick, it's good.
Okay. I'll trust you on that. That's something I never did. Because when we had cornbread at my house, it was always like beans was the big one. My mom made a big pot of beans.
Yeah.
You get cornbread with that. Cornbread and chili.
Yeah.
And then cornbread and like beef stew or like roast. Like a Sunday roast with cornbread,
Yeah.
that was really common in my house.
That was the other thing I was thinking of is like roast potatoes and carrots and
Mhm.
having cornbread with that. But usually it was beans with some like wild onions.
Dude, we used to I used to take my cornbread and just throw it right into my beef stew and just
Oh, yeah.
mix it and let it
Mhm.
soak it up and eat it like that.
Yeah.
So good. I'm just a big fan of slop in general as a food type.
And honestly, cornbread is good.
It's good. I will say this. My mom doesn't listen to the podcast, so I can say this with no repercussions. My mom makes terrible cornbread. I think I've said this to you before. You could build a friggin' house out of the stuff my mom makes.
Oh god.
It is like the toughest little brick.
Like
I feel like I'm going to lose my teeth trying to scrape a piece off.
that's wild.
My dad loves it. And I'm like, how do you eat this stuff? You know
Well,
how he eats it? He does the same thing. He soaks it in something and then eats it like
Yeah.
that. Let it soften up.
Yeah.
But if you tried to eat that stuff by itself, you're losing your teeth. Cracking
Dude.
all of them.
Like it's not that hard to make like the Jiffy brand.
No, that's what my mom did when I was a kid. She bought the Jiffy mix and it would come out like friggin' bricks.
I don't know
Hard
what-
as a rock.
That's a skill issue.
I know. I always complained about it when I was a kid. She got mad at me.
God.
But I was like, I can't eat this stuff.
But I've made cornbread from scratch before.
Oh, really? I've never done that.
Yeah, like just taking all the ingredients, just getting some cornmeal. I honestly like it a little bit more that way.
Really?
Yeah, because you can control the sugar content. Because I like a sweet cornbread,
Mm-hmm.
but I will tell you, a cornbread with less sugar in it is actually so much better.
Really?
The actual just taste of the meal is way better than that sugary stuff. I was really surprised because I
sounds surprising.
love sweet cornbread.
Me
I
too.
love
That's
super
my
sweet,
favorite kind of
super
way to-
buttery cornbread.
Yeah.
But it's better without the sugar in it. With at least with less.
Okay. That's interesting. Good to know. Anyway, anything we want to talk about before we get to the food this time, Cotton? We did have an interesting weekend, to say the least.
Yeah,
But, you know.
we had a bachelor's party that we attended. You threw technically.
Yeah, I guess I did throw it, even though I was not in control of anything that happened.
No, nobody was in control. The cards were in control, and even then, they weren't in control because we could just lie about anything.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, good lord. I don't know how many of you listen to Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and by how many of you, I don't know if you single listener of the last episode, know what Always Sunny in Philadelphia is, but they play a game called Charty McDennis. There's a lot of bodily harm in that game. We did not have any bodily harm because I assume this person
No one
listening is
got
my mother.
injured,
No one got injured.
except for their headaches and hangovers.
Yeah, I had a light headache.
See,
day after.
I didn't feel that bad, but like 2 hours after I woke up, I felt like shit.
I had a light headache, and then I took a shower. When I was in the shower, I was hacking some stuff up.
Basically, Charty McDennis is, they call it the game of games.
It's a ripoff of every other game in history.
Yeah,
basically.
It's basically the world's craziest drinking game.
Yeah, like it's not a drinking game. Drinking is the game,
Yeah.
honestly. It's just how shit-faced can you get?
How shit-faced can you get before you pass out, and can anyone win before everyone passes out?
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'm going to be honest, we had a winner.
We did.
We were close.
We were very close. We did random teams. Luckily,
Yeah.
Bob and I were on the same team.
We got lucky with that shit. It was like the one thing no one wanted.
He who shall not be named deliberately tried to make it to where we wouldn't be on the same team.
Yeah.
And he is the one who dealt the cards to randomize the teams, and we got each other.
It was nice. It was a good time. I'm glad I got you.
I'm very glad I got you.
I can't imagine dealing with Laren.
I couldn't. I didn't want to be on Laren's team because Laren is a lightweight.
I didn't want to be on Brian's team
I didn't
because
want to be on Brian's team because he's a lightweight.
I wouldn't have minded Trent.
I wouldn't have minded Trent or Jesse, but I was scared of the body cards and me getting screwed.
Yeah, same. So basically the way this game works is there's 3 categories of cards: mind, body, and spirit. Mind cards are considered trivia, artistry, and puzzles. So it's like challenges that involve drawing stuff or making art or solving some kind of puzzle or
And I
answering trivia.
I want to call Brian an asshole
Why?
right off the bat.
Why? What happened?
Brian bought a 300-piece puzzle for us to finish in 4 minutes.
That's true. So we had to gather all the materials for these ridiculous cards, of course.
Yeah.
And so since I'm the best man, I bought all the alcohol and gathered all the materials and made all the cards. And then I sent Brian, the other groomsman, because it's a small wedding. There's only 2 in the wedding party.
Yeah.
So we split the cost. I was like, all right, Brian, here's all the stuff I need. But Brian doesn't really didn't really know what he's looking for, and I work nights, so I was asleep when he was calling me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the cards that we got was finish this puzzle in, 5 minutes or something?
It was 4 minutes.
4 minutes, but you also had to drink a whole glass of wine during that time.
Yeah.
Brian bought a 300-piece puzzle.
And I just looked at everyone at the table and was like, are you fucking for real?
We can't. There's no way we can't do it.
It's impossible. I mean,
We
even the
couldn't do
box said, 2.5, 3 hours?
Yeah. We tried hard, though. We really tried.
We did. They lowered it down to 100 pieces in 4 minutes, and I said,
That's
we're
not
not going to
happen.
get the edges in that fast.
Nope.
And that's not even going to be 100 pieces.
Nope. We failed horribly.
We tried.
We did try.
Luckily, there was and the other thing that sucked is this is all goddamn trees.
All of it.
And
The whole thing.
black.
Trees in black.
And so there was a quote on one part, and we tried putting that together, and we got maybe 10, 15 pieces together.
It was so hard sorting through everything.
But then, Laren and Brian they got a shirt that was cut up, and then they had to tape it back together and be able to wear it in 10 minutes. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Laren was like, maybe they should have more time and less pieces. Brian said maybe they should have more time and less pieces. And then he who shall not be named was the ref. And he was like, okay, does anybody, unanimous vote? He was like, majority, if you're going to give them extra time, who wants to? Nobody raised their fucking hand.
Nobody. Because you're trying to win.
You're trying to win, but I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I will say, we were surprisingly good at beer pong.
Oh my God, yeah.
I can't believe
got on
we
a
won
roll.
those games.
We got on a roll there.
But yeah, basically, you just play the game. You need 3 cards to advance from level 1 to level 2, and then 3 cards from level 2 to advance to level 3, and then 3 cards from level 3 to win.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a bunch of other whack-ass rules in between.
Yeah, in level 2 you can't cuss and you get an accent from around the world. Every single one of us almost got pirate.
Pirate was very common. I got redneck, and that was fun.
Yeah.
We did break the cursing rule a lot.
Oh yeah, but people weren't paying attention, so it didn't drink.
So somebody called it. Because a big part of this game is also cheating is fully allowed. Cheating is encouraged.
But if you get caught, there is a penalty.
There's penalties, and you get shamed.
Yeah. People are allowed to call you a bitch for every time you cheat.
Yeah. So there's that. We tried to cheat a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I
got
be
away
real?
with several of them.
We got away with several. When you flipped that coin and you told him what it was, I totally didn't see you cheat. I totally believed you flipped it and got that part of it. That was 100% like, oh, I don't think you cheated at all. Now I feel bad because now everyone thinks that I lied, but I didn't. I really thought you didn't cheat.
I know. I didn't know if you seen me flip it or not because I've done a lot of sleight of hand stuff in my life. I used to mess with magic magic tricks all the time. I used to play with coins. I've done a lot of finger tricks. Now I've got arthritis in my hands and I can't do them as well. But one thing, manipulating a coin is something I have learned to do from the back of my hand. And so when I did that and I got a goddamn head twice in a row. I was so glad he didn't see the first one because I knew he wasn't. It landed on the backside of my hand.
What was the penalty for that? It was something fucking horrible.
Dude, it was 9 shots.
We couldn't have done it. We'd have died.
No, but I had to do 9 shots later.
Well, I tried, man.
I
I tried
know.
so hard.
I know, and I'm a trooper. I'll
are a
take,
trooper.
I'll
You
take
saved
one
my
for
ass.
the team. I'll chug beers whenever though I don't want to.
Dude, after we chugged those Seagram's things or whatever, I had the worst fucking stomach ache because I was full of bubbles.
I had a brain freeze. I threw up some foam outside in the yard when we chugged the actual beers.
Laren puked outside.
I know.
Laren was so bad. I think said that he said he didn't remember anything past any part of the spirit round.
I told you that he didn't
was you,
remember
yeah.
anything in the spirit round.
I don't know how much Brian remembered. I remember everything. I was fine.
Yeah. I remember everything. I was totally fine. Buzzed, if anything, if you want to call it that. And then I took 9 shots and it went straight to the head. I remember everything, but it was woo after that.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my lord. But yeah, the Bachelor of the Bachelor Party won. Him and Trent won. They were on teams.
Yep.
So that was nice. I'm glad they got a win. I'm disappointed in Laren and Brian. They were so plastered.
So disappointed.
Like, how were they so drunk and everyone else was so sober? That's not true. Jesse was so drunk.
Oh yeah,
but he was functional.
True. So here's another aspect of the game. Is on the first level you drink wine.
Yeah.
The second level you drink beer, but we had wine coolers as well because most of us don't like beer. And then on the third level, it's hard liquor.
That's where it got rough.
That's where it gets rough. So like if you're cheating, you just have to take a big drink of your drink.
Mm-hmm.
So it's worse to cheat on the later levels because the higher alcohol content.
Yep.
So I cheated on that coin flip knowing full damn well it could have been 10 shots for me.
Yeah.
But it was worth it to have 0 in a card.
For sure. Absolutely.
So,
God.
yeah. Good Lord.
I will call BS. I think we could have won that stacking game
Oh, yeah.
if they hadn't decided to use a fucking bed frame mattress
Yeah.
or a fucking box spring.
I would have called that stationary if I were the judge.
But our ref did not call it that way.
Yeah.
Well, because if we had managed to wedge darts in the ceiling, we were literally as tall as we could get.
Right.
So, like, is that a default win? I don't know.
No, because apparently theirs went higher on that part of the ceiling. We'll have to look later, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But, you know, anyway. We had a wild weekend. It was really fun. We had a really good time.
Mhm.
A lot of our friends got really drunk.
Oh, the thing I was going to say about them being lightweights and why we're disappointed is they were piss poor drunk from level 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Level 2 began and Brian was stumbling.
He was basically rolling around on the floor. He was monkey swinging his arms around, swaying back and forth. Like every step took him halfway across the room on the other side.
Yeah. And Laren spent all of round 3 in the trash can puking.
Yeah. Which we told him. Their deal was they kept drinking when you weren't supposed to be drinking.
They were drinking for fun and not drinking for the game,
Right.
which is a mistake when the game is trying to get you hammered.
Right. Like the game is screwing you over. Most of the games make you have to drink a bunch of shit.
Like, chug this beer, drink a whole bottle of wine.
Both team members chug something.
Yeah, like,
Somebody
just
chooses
dangerous.
what you drink, and then another person chooses how much.
that game was fucking
That's scary.
I got lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky. You got a little.
Who got the big one at the end? Laren? Oh, that's why Laren got really drunk. That's what happened.
Well, he had 3 shots of gin. And it wasn't even 3 shots. It was a 3-second pour, which some people were like, oh, it only takes a second to pour a shot. I was pouring slow because I had a feeling Laren was going to get it. And I didn't want anybody to drink that much gin.
Yeah, we killed that whole bottle. You know how many bottles of wine are left in there?
No.
2. We drank 6 bottles of wine
That's between 7 people, though.
between 7 people. 15 beers,
Okay.
all 24 of the wine coolers.
Yeah.
That bottle of gin is gone, and that was full when I brought it down here.
Was it? It was only like a third of the way full whenever I poured any out of it.
It was full when I brought it down here.
The strawberry one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we did drink all of that because there were 4 of us drinking that.
Yeah.
But no, I was talking about the Kirkland's one.
Yeah. And there was Jaeger down there and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't touch that because it says like hot ginger on that one.
Yeah. I brought it down because Jesse likes it.
Oof.
Yeah. There were a lot of challenges we didn't get to that I was really sad about because they would have been fun.
Yeah, a lot of the eating ones.
Thank God. I would have thrown up.
That would have
man.
been brutal. That's what makes you want to throw up.
Yeah, the eating challenges. One of the challenges, we had 3 jars of pickles down there.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the challenges was, I think it was called Pickle Race. All 3 teams had to eat a whole jar of pickles and drink all the juice. And first one to win gets the card.
And of course, you fiends did not buy regular sized pickle jars. You
No,
bought the jumbo pickle jars.
Don't blame me, Brian. Brian bought it without. I had no control. I was asleep. Brian just bought it.
It's still so crazy to me. I think we would have put a time limit on it, and whoever got the most.
I couldn't have done it. You know that.
I know.
It would have been up to you.
I would have not done anything. I would have just sat there.
There's no point because you couldn't have won.
No.
For those of you who don't know, I hate pickles. Like that's the one food that I'm like, I don't understand why people like it. I think it's absolutely disgusting. Like it's gross to me.
I like pickles, and while we were drinking, I was like, man, I could use a pickle, but I would not have eaten an entire jumbo. Like, it was the large size pickle jar of the large size pickles.
Yeah. It was fucking crazy. No one could have done it.
There were like at least 50 large pickles in each of those fucking jars.
No, there's not that many. I think someone looked and there's like 15 pickles per jar or something.
There's no way it's only 15.
Yeah, no, it's 15 pickles. We counted. I think Trent counted over there or something. Somebody did.
No way.
All right.
I
Well,
was gonna say. Anyway, we should make it back to the
yeah, we should get back
podcast
to
part.
the podcast part of the podcast. I have a question.
Yeah.
Did we get lost?
No.
No. I kind of thought we did for a minute, but we recovered.
Yeah, there's some weird roads over there.
Yeah, weird roads. And also, the instructions didn't tell me which way to go when we got off of an exit, and we just kind of winged it, and he went the right way. So it worked out.
Well, then you said Eastern Parkway. I was like, okay, that's this way.
So
which
that helped.
getting much better at figuring out roads downtown.
Yeah, dude. That was crazy. We were on our way back, and you just knew how to get back to my house. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't even know how to get back to my house.
Yeah, it's getting to the point to where once I take the way to get there, I can even take a different way to get back.
Mm-hmm. We did have a detour on the way back, which we'll talk about later.
Yes,
So
for
I
the
had to-
dessert section because this place didn't have desserts.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sure they
it's-
have some kind, but not anything that was on display. And honestly, the menu's harder to read there. This is my first pitch about the place.
Mm-hmm.
The menu is on like a TV screen, and it cycles like every 3 seconds.
It's
and it's
really
a huge
annoying.
menu.
Yeah, it's annoying as shit. I hate that.
Yeah,
That's my only complaint. But I mean, honestly, that's not that big of a complaint.
you can format it so much better.
You could.
Cut some of the bullshit out of your menu because I'm sure there are things that people don't get.
Yeah.
And put it on one screen.
Yeah. Well, no, you realize what it was, right?
What?
The menu, the only thing that changed was the left side of the menu. The right side of the menu was always the same
I didn't even notice that.
because it was all the sides and drinks and stuff.
Okay.
So the only thing that changed was the left side, which was the main course.
But see, you can see all the drinks.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no reason to even have the drinks listed. Say, put a thing on there that says drinks and put a price. Because each
guess,
of your
yeah.
sodas don't cost anything different. You don't have to list Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Big Red. You don't have to list all of it.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. It's your sides. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Having that listed on there is very helpful. Having sandwiches in a separate section, that's helpful. But goddamn, you have 80 fucking sandwiches. It feels like.
Yeah, the menu's really big, so that was kind of a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Or what you should do is you should have a paper copy that you hand to somebody
I think you
as
actually
soon as they walk up.
I think there were QR code things on the table you could scan and get the menu online.
Yeah, but
I hate doing that, but you know.
But the thing about that too was, one lady was walking up while we were sitting there eating, and she was like, "Oh, did the menu work for you?" And she was like, "No, I just took pictures of the screen, so I sent them to my husband." So I'm like, obviously, even that doesn't work.
Didn't think about that. Was not paying attention to hear that.
Yep. I try and eavesdrop a little bit around just to see if people are talking about the restaurant and see what other people feel at places, just because I'm curious. Because we're not everybody.
That's true.
We have different tastes. Everybody has different tastes. But I try to get a good feel of how people feel in a place, and people feel content here. It feels like you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah, it feels like most people that come here are people that have been here quite a few times and know exactly what they want.
Yeah, which you can have a menu that's a little bit bigger size at that point because then people, they know what they want anyway. They're just going to walk in and order it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little daunting to a new person.
That's fair.
And your quality goes down when you're trying to cook so much stuff, which is one reason, and maybe this is a spoiler, one reason why I know people get certain things at this place.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I understand that. I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Another question. This is restaurant related too. Man, we're really talking about the restaurant a lot this episode.
Yeah.
How would you describe the food at Check's Cafe? Because I don't really know what word to use. Because there's nothing that really fits it. Because it's kind of like bar
Comfort,
food.
it's comfort pub food.
Yeah. Okay, that works. It's bar food, but also it's more than bar food because it's like...
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and talk about what we got. I mean, I had a fish sandwich with onion rings. You had a chili cheese dog with onion rings.
Yeah. And then we got something to split.
Yeah, we got pretzel bread with beer cheese.
With their beer
to
cheese.
split.
Yeah. Which this place is German. So they have like German potato salad and a bunch of other stuff. So the beer cheese and bread is like very traditional, I would assume.
Right. And I don't know what kind of sauce that is that came with the onion rings. But
It's good. It's like a Chipotle sauce.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of spicy. Got a little bit of tang to it. Not sure what the hell was in it. It's orange.
Yeah. It's good though.
It is good.
So we've talked about what we what we got. How would you say what are the vibes of this place? Like, how do we feel about it? Because, like, yeah, there were a lot of old people, but I could see, like, I don't know. I could see us going there on, like, a weekend or something.
Yeah.
And, like,
It's relaxing. It's not loud because of the people. It's loud because maybe where we sat.
Yeah.
The ladies coming out of the kitchen would just yell your name.
yeah.
They'd just be like, Robert. And I was like, good Lord. Yeah, we're right here. Thank you.
yeah, we're literally right next to the door.
So it was a little loud. But, I mean, you kind of got used to it. And didn't bother me after a little bit. It's just relaxing. It's just like a nice
I think
chill
it's a chill
place.
spot, yeah. I would say, like, I could see going here on the weekend and getting dinner and drinking, like, 1 or 2 drinks with somebody and then going home.
If I liked beer, it would definitely be a place to just go get a couple of beers and have a fish sandwich or something.
It's very much the vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what there were dudes sitting out front at, like, a little picnic table doing that exactly.
Yeah, and honestly, it reminded me of a scene from, like, The Sopranos.
I've never seen The Sopranos.
Just like the mob guys sitting out front of the meat shop, just talking, eating sandwiches.
Yeah. It's very much like a local place where locals go. It feels sort of homey in a lot of ways, which is really nice, honestly, in a big city like this, you know? You don't get a lot of places like that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel industrialized, I guess is kind of the word that I want to say. That or franchised.
Yeah.
When you go into a franchise place, you don't feel welcome.
Yeah, it's a very different experience.
It feels forced.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of environment where, we're standing in line, lady behind the bar goes, what y'all want to drink, hon?
It's like, okay,
Hell
I guess
yeah.
we're getting drinks.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what I want right now.
Yeah, it's very much a place like when I'm old, I will return to Czechs.
Right. Like these people are here to stay. These people know what they're doing. They're comfortable. They're in their element. It's nice to go to a place that doesn't have a angsty teenager behind the counter.
Yeah, this one was full of old women.
Yeah.
That lady that took our order was really nice, though.
I think I didn't see a single younger person be a man working.
I think I saw. No, you might be right.
There were 2 or 3 women behind the bar and one woman running in and out of the kitchen. Maybe 2.
Yeah.
But my back was to the kitchen door, but it sounded like the same lady coming out.
It was the same lady every time. Yeah, I didn't see any dudes working there either. Huh. I think there was definitely some dudes in the kitchen, though, because remember when we pulled it around back and parked?
There was a dude back there, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That place, surprisingly spacious if you look at it from the front. Huge.
It's large, yeah. And, I mean, we didn't even see the whole balcony or backside,
Yeah.
And God knows how long, going up the stairs, if there's any offshoots or any seating up there, seating inside upstairs, who knows?
Yeah, place is massive, and apparently it gets really full on the weekends.
And I wouldn't doubt it. Like, we got there, and there weren't a bunch of people, but, I mean, we stood in line behind 2 people, and then there was a line the whole time we were in there.
Mm-hmm. It started to really fill up when we were going to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else we want to talk about before we move on to the actual food and talking about how we feel about it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I will preface with we looked because this place is so close to Kearns in terms of food types and vibes.
Right.
We went back and re-listened to what we gave Kearns.
Yeah, so we have started to acquire the old scores. Kearns is the only one that we've actually done so far.
Yeah, we need to get on that. But whatever. We gave Kearns an 18.5.
Yeah, I gave it an 18. You gave it a 19. Just quick refresher, Hannah gave it a 14.
I don't know why she hated it that much.
She was in that point in her pregnancy where something was either good or it was bad.
That's completely fair, honestly. I've never been pregnant, so I wouldn't know. But,
yeah.
Yeah, we gave Kearns it combined an 18.5. So we'll see how this place fares.
Yeah.
Comparably.
Mm-hmm. Which, I don't remember rating Kearns so high.
I don't either.
But, damn. I really think that lady working by herself.
Yeah.
I think she was the reason we rated it so high.
Yeah.
Wanted to tip her with the score or something I kept saying.
Yeah. Well, dude, she was getting slammed all night.
Man.
It was so bad.
And I will say it was good.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. and there was a lot of people. It felt good. It felt alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I can say about Kearns that wins. It felt more alive than this place did.
Yeah.
But
It felt like there were a lot more characters at Kearns.
yeah.
Some of those dudes at Kearns were just like
Uh-huh.
absolute menaces, bro.
Which is another thing I will say that was the same, though, is that lady knew a bunch of people's names there, and there were several times where I heard, like, people walking up to the counter to order, and she knew what they wanted, and she knew their name.
That's always nice, dude. It's always a plus.
Having your regulars.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember who goes first.
You do.
Okay, thank you. I never remember, dude.
It's in the book.
It's in the book. That's good to know. So let's start with the thing we shared. We got some of the pretzel bread with the beer cheese.
Yep.
Look, okay. I will say this right now. Anytime I go to any sort of bar or pub or tavern, I always try and if they have pretzel bread and beer cheese, I always get it because
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite things in the world.
It
like
is super
genuinely.
good. It's usually super good.
This is the best pretzel bread beer cheese I've had. And I've been to quite a few places around the city that serve that kind of thing. It is so... First of all, it comes out in like a full loaf that's been
Yeah.
sliced into pieces that you just take a piece off of and eat and dip in the beer cheese. It is so covered in salt
Oh, my
and
gosh.
so buttery
Super, super buttery.
and so soft in the middle.
And really fluffy. It was...
In the bottom and the outside still has this pretzel crunch and texture. And at first I was like, man, this is like way too salty. But then the creaminess of the cheese comes in and the cold and it cuts it.
Right, and that's one thing I want to say about the beer cheese. Normally, whenever I get beer cheese with something, it's always like warm and, it's like queso-esque.
No, that's...
I've never gotten cold beer cheese.
Really?
like that.
It's very common to get cold beer cheese like that. In a lot of
Never.
places around here, yeah. It's very traditional to get it in like cold like that, like a...
Interesting.
Like
yeah, every time I got
spreadable.
it, it's been like a dip. Never been spreadable like that.
No, that's the way I usually get it is when it's spreadable like that. Most of the time when I get it.
Hmm.
It's so good. Because at first it's like, this is too salty, but then you get the cheese and it cuts it. And it's so buttery and cheesy and delicious. It was so good that like I was like, we need to go box. We can't finish this food, but we need to go box.
Yeah.
Like I have to take this home with me. It's so friggin' good.
Mm-hmm.
Like so good. And like that's one of their most famous things here is their pretzel bread and beer cheese. For good reason.
Probably,
It's
yeah.
phenomenal.
It is really good.
Like it came out of the oven so fast it was still warm.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, so good. I also got a chili dog, which I will say this chili dog, very interestingly, normally when I get a chili dog, it comes, as the hot dog with the chili on top, and you can still eat it like a hot dog.
As a handheld thing.
Yeah. This one was so sloppy, they brought me it on a plate with a knife and fork. So I had to cut it up and eat it, which I'm not opposed to, actually. I think that might be my preferred way to eat a chili dog, but I'd just say that's how they served it to me.
And honestly, from looking at it, they cooked the hot dog the right way.
Yeah.
Splitting it in half open like that
Mhm.
and face down grilling it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way you do that.
Dude, that hot dog, I would like to caught and said, this is like one of the best hot dogs I've ever had. It was definitely like a really high quality hot dog. Their chili's good, which helped. The cheese was good, but something about that hot dog and like the bun soaking all that chili and cheese into it,
Yeah.
so good. Which also, I'm just a big fan of chili dogs. That's like one of my favorite foods of all time.
I mean,
but
yeah.
Such a good chili dog. Genuinely, really, really good chili dog. Onion rings, very good. I like the onion rings quite a bit. That
Yeah.
chipotle sauce they serve with it, very good for the onion rings.
I agree. The onion rings are much better than most places. They're really thick cut onions.
Yeah, but I like that.
I mean that's something I was gonna say. Is normally I feel like they're super crispy and the onion kind of just like pulls out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like they cook these at the right amount of time, and you can tell there's fresh onions because they're not rubbery.
Yep.
They snap when you bite into them.
Yup.
So it doesn't slip out at all. There's plenty of onion. They're hot. They're ready. They're good.
They're crispy, golden. I feel like sometimes either I get too cooked of an onion ring, and the
super brown.
in the super brown, and the outside's too crunchy,
yeah.
so it just shatters like glass in your mouth and doesn't actually stick to the onion. Then you're just left with
Uh-huh.
onion with no breading, which is fine if you want that, but not for me.
But not super enjoyable.
But this is like it had a nice crispy crunch that was just soft enough where I bit through the outside shell and then I bit through the onion and it all came out in one bite. And
Yeah.
I didn't have any stringy onion bits or
No.
like shattered
Didn't have a problem
crumbs
biting
anywhere.
any of them. It was
It was good. There's
really
good onion ring consistency. Like I complain about onion rings a lot when they're bad because
Yeah.
when onion rings are bad, they're really bad.
And I think that's a good point that you got there. Is it's very consistent.
Yeah, for sure. Because both of our onion rings came out the exact same way.
Yep.
Which is like fantastic. You want that? You see that kind of thing at a local place because it means that they're doing the same thing the same way every time. They're not cutting corners. You know, they're
Mhm.
actually trying to make the food be good,
right.
which is a positive.
And I will say the wait wasn't too terrible.
No, not bad
it
at
wasn't
all.
very long. Yeah, I mean it was not fast, but it wasn't something like, oh, I'm going into a restaurant and I've got to wait for forever.
Yeah.
You know, like I was hungry when I sat down. I wasn't dying by the time the food came out.
No, I mean,
I was like, okay,
Well, how long do you think we sat
ready
there?
to eat.
Maybe 15 minutes?
Maybe
Less than that, probably.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Not bad. But yeah, that's everything I got. You can go.
Yep. So I had all the same stuff except for instead of a chili cheese dog, I had a fish sandwich, which it didn't say what kind of fish it was. I think it was cod.
I would assume so.
I think so. That's like popular fish sandwich. It was cod. It was really large. You can get a 1-piece or a 2-piece. And my God, dude, I don't know how you could have 2 pieces. It was a considerably large size piece of fish.
Yeah.
Like you get the choice of white bread or rye bread. If you don't get rye bread, you're wrong.
Really?
Ultimately, fish deserves rye bread.
Fair enough. I like rye bread a lot, actually. I think I prefer it over white bread most of the time.
I don't mind rye bread, but when it comes to fish, it's so much better that way because all the grain just tastes better on the fish.
Okay.
They didn't give me any tartar sauce. She didn't ask me if I wanted any. I'm sure I could have asked for it. But, you know, usually with these things, if they ask me if I want something, I'll decide if I want it or not. I try not to take things off. I mean, I take tomato. Like, if I know I'm not going to like something, I don't want to ruin this place, I take things off.
Yeah.
But I try not to add things to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is the way that it's served, this is how I'm going to eat it.
That's how I feel, too. The lady
so-
looked at me like I was a crazy person when I told her I didn't want jalapenos on my chili.
I was surprised you didn't want jalapenos. I knew you wouldn't, or you didn't get onions on it either, right? That
Yeah.
was the other thing.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that was going to be the case, but I'm sure it would have been some nice red onions, and I think you would have liked it.
Maybe. I'm just not a fan of raw onion like that, like thrown on top of chili. I assumed it was going to be a diced white onion.
Yeah, it could have been white.
And also, I'm not I just assumed that it was going to be pickled jalapenos, which once again, I don't like pickled stuff. So,
Right.
not for me.
That's fair.
That's the only reason I said no. Now, if she had said fresh jalapenos, I totally would have done it because that's fine. I like those quite a
Right.
bit. But
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
would've
know. I didn't want to chance it being pickled
They
and
would have been
ruining it.
pickled.
Yeah. So I held off. But she asked me twice, and the second time she was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
It's like, you judging me, lady?
I'm sure it's because their chili's probably not spicy at all.
No, it's not. It's a very like hearty, meaty chili, which is fine. I like that kind of chili. It was lacking spice, but I mean, it wasn't really that big of a deal.
Yeah, I was like hot chili because my dad always puts a bunch of seasonings in his chili,
Mm-hmm.
but he always adds cinnamon and then a little bit of sugar into his chili.
I always do cinnamon chocolate.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Never seen that.
I have a killer chili recipe from high school because I took culinary classes for a year in high school, and the end of first semester's like test was a chili cook-off, and whoever won, you know, chef would come in and make them something like that next Friday, whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
We had such a good chili that chef asked us for the recipe.
Oh my God.
It was you remember Donnie from high school?
Yeah.
He was in our grade. His grandma's chili recipe, and I have it still. It's written down on a piece of paper down there. I've been meaning to make it for a while. But dude, it's really, really, really good chili.
Like to try it.
Killer. Oh my God, the little chili cook-off. Host an event in my backyard.
Oh God.
That's for future things. That's fun.
Yeah, that'd be funny. So fish was huge. It was hanging off all sides of the bread,
It looked good.
which I'm fine with. It was cooked to perfection, I'll say. It was cooked really well. It was not overdone. It wasn't rubbery. It was super flaky. The batter on it was the same batter that they probably use for the onion rings.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crisp. It was crunchy. It wasn't falling off, which is another problem that I feel like people don't which I've been cooking a lot more recently, and something that I've noticed and makes it a lot better whenever you fry things is whenever you dry your meat off before you dip it in all the shit to batter it. Yeah, you can tell that they did that. You can tell because it stuck. It was on there. Like, couldn't peel it off if I wanted to. I mean, it was good. It was flavorful. It wasn't really seasoned, which usually with a fish sandwich, you season the batter with, salt, pepper, whatever. I don't think there was very much seasoning on there at all. It just kind of let the fish speak for itself, which means you just have to cook it better. And it had a good cook to it. And like I said, rye bread adds flavor as well. And then I took the onion ring sauce and spread it across the bread because I was like, I mean, I've got this. I'm not going to eat all of it. Might as well. It added just a little bit of kick to the sandwich, which I like putting a little bit of hot sauce on my fish sandwiches anyway.
I almost thought you were going to ask him for hot sauce.
Right. And it added just enough. It added that little bit of creaminess, that I didn't get from the tartar sauce because there wasn't any. And yeah, I mean, it was just all around pretty good.
Okay. Did you talk about the bread?
The rye bread?
The pretzel bread.
Oh, I just agree with what you said.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was really good pretzel bread. I like the beer cheese being cold better, honestly. It was hot. It was real good. Not the cheese. The fucking bread was hot.
The bread was so good.
Just getting a piece that's from the middle section, so it's real long, and you've got like some of the crunch on the outside, but more that softer part on the inside.
You can see the butter running down and soaking into the bread.
That was crazy.
So weird.
It was really
wild. Okay. What are we down to? Scores?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I give Kearns a 19, so the only way to beat that is a 20. And man, that pretzel bread was so good. Like, honestly, if I just ate the pretzel bread alone, perfection.
Yeah.
So good.
I know you normally go first, 19.
I was going to give it an 18.
Really?
Same score as Kearns. Because while I enjoy this place a lot, and it's some place I could see myself going to, I think I prefer the environment of Kearns over this one.
See, I think I prefer the environment of this. I'm more of a chill, laid-back kind of person.
But see, at Kearns, I could go to the bar and sit down, and I would, like, chat with the lady behind. You know what I mean? It just feels more inviting to me.
See, but I'm not going to do that.
See,
I feel like I could, but I'm not going to.
I would, though, right? Like, if I was, like, had nothing to do on, like, a Saturday night, I could totally just go to Kearns and order some food and sit at the bar. Talk to the lady. Like, that's something I could totally do. I could see myself doing.
I think for a bar experience, you should go to Kearns.
Yeah, for a bar experience, Kearns. But for more of, like, a sit down, have dinner, maybe order some drinks if you want to.
Yeah.
Which, not a lot of... The only people really drinking are the people at the bar.
Yeah.
People going to their seats usually just got soda or something.
Yeah.
I will say, I think the food overall is better here.
And you have better options.
And there were a lot more options, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like the menu size of Kearns better. I think it just works better that way.
Fair enough.
But like I said, I kind of hinted at this, is I feel like people are getting the same things every time they go to this place anyway. You're not getting the off-the-wall shit that they have on their orders. It's useless. You're wasting money buying the shit that you're not going to be using.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was good. It was well put together for having that much stuff on the menu. That means people are getting it. People are getting what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got solid options. Stick with your solid options. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job.
For sure.
But yeah.
All right. Well, looks like it's time to move on to dessert.
18 and a half.
18 and a half again, baby.
But that does show that, like, we are kind of different people, just very slightly. You're more of a go to bar and have a chill time, and I'm more of I'm going to go to a restaurant and have a chill time.
Yeah. And when I go to a bar, I don't want to drink. I just want to be there and be in the environment.
Right. And that's fair.
Like, there's something about... This sounds weird. I like to be in public spaces, but not really be doing anything. Just kind of existing in public is a nice way for me to relax.
That's fair.
Because, like, I'm not forced to talk to anybody. I'm just there. And I can just exist.
Yeah, that's fair. I understand
just
that.
like, oh, how nice. That's why I like going to the coffee shop up the road.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go to the coffee shop near my house, and I will just go there. I'll have a coffee, and I will sit there and just chill.
Mm-hmm.
Not do anything, not talk to anybody. Just scroll through Twitter on my phone, or, like, listen to music or listen to a podcast.
That was one thing that I liked about working at Starbucks was, I just got to stand there and make drinks, which honestly is a lot more fun than you think it'd be, unless it was super busy and it's kind of stressful. But just stand there, make drinks on a chill afternoon or early in the morning when there's not very many people in there, and just hear people talk. And people want to talk to you and have conversations, which is fine. Just relax in a public space. Even on break, I wouldn't go sit in the back like most of the weirdos. I'd sit out there in the cafe part and just chill and watch and listen.
Yeah. Okay. So, I will preface this with, we had to do a detour because, like we said, Chex didn't really have any desserts that we could see.
Yeah.
So, we were like, okay, we passed Dairy Castle on the way here.
And like I said, looking at the menu's a bitch.
Yeah, that too. Dairy Castle, which is a very famous local place because it's like local soft serve ice cream where you just walk up to a window at a building and they just give you ice cream. And you can buy whatever you want. There are two in this city. There's Dairy Castle, there's Dairy Dell. We passed Dairy Castle on the way to Chex.
Yep.
On the way back, we're like, okay, we'll stop at Dairy Castle and get ice cream for dessert. Posted all over the window, closed Monday.
Yeah.
So we had to make a detour and we went to Dairy Castle instead. I will say
Dairy Dell.
Sorry, Dairy Dell, you're right. I fucked that up just now. I will say Dairy Dell is nice because it has a drive-thru, which is superior in my drive-thru ice cream. I just think it's a better idea. But we didn't go to the drive-thru. We just drove up and got something.
Yep.
I got a chocolate shake because I've been here before. I think last time I went, I got something called an Orange Cow, which is orange soda and vanilla ice cream. Super delicious. But I was like, I haven't had their shakes. I'll try their chocolate shake. What did you get, Cotton?
I got a strawberry ice cream cone.
Yeah, just a normal strawberry ice cream cone. Which, I'll say this. When you got your ice cream cone, I looked over, and there were little specks of freeze-dried strawberries in your ice cream cone.
It wasn't freeze-dried. It was fresh.
What? No way, really?
Yeah, it weren't freeze-dried. The crunching you heard is there was like random ice chips in there.
Awesome. I mean, that's how you tell it's good strawberry ice cream.
Yeah, agreed.
It's not artificial. Like, it has actual strawberry to it.
That's
it's
the
very
way
nice.
I would rather it be.
So both of these places are, Dairy Dell and Dairy Castle, are very, famous Louisville ice cream places. People, they're only open during the summer. It's a seasonal thing.
Yep.
And when they are open, they are packed because everyone wants it. Because it's super, it's like, there's a divide in the city over which one's better. It's a whole thing, man. People will get upset if you tell them you like Dairy Dell over Dairy Castle or Dairy Castle over Dairy Dell.
And see, there's another ice cream place. I'm trying to look for it now. That's why I'm scrolling on my phone. It's in front of Fern Creek High School. What the fuck is it called?
I have no idea.
I'll figure it out. Just keep talking about the ice cream. Chime in when I can.
Okay. So that's what we have for dessert. I'm going to say this right now. Pretty dang good chocolate shake. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was, you know how some places you go and you're like, oh, they just threw chocolate syrup into vanilla ice cream and mixed it.
Yeah.
That's not what they did with this. It's not chocolate syrup. I don't know what they did. It might be cocoa powder or something and powdered sugar. It's super, super rich chocolate ice cream.
Okay.
That has been, I don't know what they use. It must use vanilla as the base, but it's not chocolate syrup because it doesn't have that syrupy consistency that a chocolate shake would have when it's made with syrup. You know what I mean? Like that artificial chocolate bite.
Yeah.
It tastes very much like someone took some dark, rich chocolate ice cream and then cut it with vanilla somehow. It's really, really good. It's also I've had this problem before. You go to an ice cream place and you get a shake, and the shake is like fucking cement. And you can't even suck it through the straw. Not a problem here. Good consistency on the shake. No problem with it at all. Completely drinkable as soon as I got it. Thank Christ.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to give the chocolate shake 17. It's very good. Very good shake.
Okay. Yeah, I like a nice light flavor in my ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be super heavy vanilla. I don't want it to be super heavy anything. This had a very light strawberry taste, which is what I want from a strawberry ice cream. It, like I said, the pieces make it better because, it's fresher. It's just better in general. The the ice chips in it were weird, but it gave it some nice texture. Just whatever. I think some of them came off of the strawberries. But like I said, they weren't freeze-dried. I have this conversation with Hannah all the time. I hate freeze-dried strawberries. I like freeze-dried fruit. Like bananas, great. Apples, great. Pears, great. Fuck the freeze-dried strawberries.
I didn't know you had such a hatred.
They're so bad. Like I like the pink drink at Starbucks. They have freeze-dried strawberry pieces on the top of it. No pieces. Fuck that. Horrible. But nice all around, just good soft ice cream. It's not a soft serve, which I kind of want to try because they do have like a soft serve version that's got like the, I don't know how you describe it or how they even do it. The like weird flavoring that goes around the outside of the ice cream.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what that's called.
I don't either. It's like frosted tips for your ice cream.
Yeah.
But I'd like to try that because I do like soft serve a little bit more than scooped ice cream. And I only got a cone because I wanted to try actual ice cream and not a shake.
That's fair.
I felt like it wouldn't weigh as heavy on my stomach because I was already so full from the other food.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I'd be able to handle the ice cream in general, but having that ice cream, it wasn't too bad. It was nice. It was light. I got strawberry because it's a nice light flavor. It's refreshing. And I'll say that's what it was. So I'll give it a good 17.
Yeah, it was good. It's just good ice cream. Highly recommend if you're in the city during the summertime. Try and pass it by. They got a drive-through. It's easy to get to. It's kind of busy sometimes. I've seen it like backed out into the street before with the line.
Right.
But if you go at the right times, it ain't too bad. Ugh. All right. Well, anything else we would talk about before we close out the episode?
I want to find this other ice cream place.
What? I don't even know what it's
It's
called.
definitely not in front of Fern Creek High School. I figured that out.
Why did you think it was there?
It's in front of a high school. I know it is.
DuPont Manual.
No. I think it might actually be in Hillview. It's not in...
St. X. I'm just naming high schools now.
I think it's actually in Hillview.
Oh, well.
Now that I'm thinking about her.
I mean, fucking, how close was Chex to, what was that? Was that DuPont Manual's, like, baseball field or something?
Yeah.
It's right down the street. Fucking wild.
Where's the fucking Meyer at over here?
You're really searching, huh? Good lord.
I know it's around here somewhere.
I'm sure you'll find it one day. Would your parents know?
Maybe, but neither of them are awake. Or my dad's probably awake, but he's probably busy. Dairy Delight.
Dairy Delight. Never heard of it.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was Dairy Dell. I thought this one was Dairy Dell. Dairy Delight. And it's in front of what high school is this? Southern High School. It's in front of Southern High School.
Ah, okay.
Still in the Louisville area. It's just
Yeah.
more in Hillview than anything.
Is it, I mean, is the address in Louisville? That's the question, because that's how I'll count it.
Dairy Delight. Fast food. 8685 Preston Highway, Louisville, Kentucky.
We could go. Totally could go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's in the city. All right. Anything else we want to talk about before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I think
I
we've
don't
had a
think so
good,
either.
solid podcast. We've talked about some off-the-wall stuff.
Talked about our weekend a little bit. Talked about the food. Talked about dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in that case, check us out on Twitter, Lost_Louisville. I'll post pictures of the food with the tweet for the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't forgotten.
We didn't.
I did it. Mission accomplished.
Did the thing.
We took pictures. I almost forgot again. We literally got our food and Cotton started eating, and I went, hold on. Obligatory picture.
Yeah.
I have to.
Stood up and everything.
Yeah, it was the whole thing. So check us out on Twitter, Lost_Louisville. It's where I post tweets about the show, pictures from the show. If we ever talk about anything show that requires images, they'll go up there. A link to the show when it goes live. Just any updates for the show, check out our Twitter. It's where everything goes. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll talk about that again. Thank you for reminding me. I told her, oh man. So this is a tangent. I know we're trying to end the episode, but this is a little bit of a story.
You're good.
As you all know, if you've been listening, we've gotten new photos for the podcast.
Much better photos.
Much better
Good
photos.
job.
Taken by my friend Savannah and her photography business. Super nice of her to give them to me for free and let me use them, as long as we plug our stuff on the podcast, which of course I will. I've also been like posting her link in our descriptions and stuff, so you can check it out. Super nice. Go support her. She does really cool photography. But I told her that we shouted her out on the podcast, and I sent her the episodes, and she was so happy that we did it. I was like, yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Like, you're great. You're doing this for free. Like,
yeah.
Totally don't mind helping you out.
Absolutely.
because she does weddings, she does graduations, she does all kinds of events, takes photographs for like not her main job, but it's like a really big side gig for her.
Right.
So if you need photos done, check her out. Links in our description. Very, very good person. Really want to support her. So that's nice.
And if somebody asks me if I know a good photographer, I'm just going to go, yeah, check out my podcast, and we actually link a really good photographer in there.
Exactly. Look, this whole show, the whole philosophy behind this friggin' show,
Is to help Louisville businesses.
yes, to support local business. So I'm going to shill some local business on the podcast.
Absolutely.
And also, we're going to eat some local business food on the podcast.
For sure.
Now, I will say, while we do wish to support a local business, if your food is bad, we're not going to sugarcoat it.
No.
We may have already done that once on accident because we didn't realize how bad the food really was.
I said I didn't think it was bad.
I know. But every other person who's been to that place since we've been there has been like, this is horrible.
Yeah, they are weird people. But anyway, I talked about how much I didn't care for the burger. It wasn't a terrible burger, but it wasn't a great burger. There were good qualities about it, but I loved that dip.
We're talking about Rubby's, by the way.
Well, yeah.
Rubby's is a local institution that, since we have gone, many of our friends have went and have decided that it is terrible and they should never return.
But yet we know plenty of other people that are much older than us
Who love that
who
place.
love it.
Like, they say best wings in the city.
Best restaurant in the city. What the hell?
What?
Which, going to this place today, not the best restaurant in the city. Not in my opinion, at least.
No. Good restaurant. Had a
Yeah.
good time. Good food.
No, I meant fucking Rubby's.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to that place,
Oh, yeah. No,
Rubby's gets put in the
Dog
fucking
water.
dirt.
I just thought I should bring it up because it got mentioned
Yeah.
a couple days ago. I thought it was really funny.
Uh-huh.
We have to go back. We have to go back.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the Redemption Arc episodes.
It's in we have the little BBB and then
The Bucket of Redemption.
is that what we're gonna call it?
Yeah.
The bucket of redemption. I was trying to think of how to. I was gonna say the little black box, the little BB, the little BBB. It's like we're an airplane. We got a
Okay.
little black box.
Another podcast.
No, not another. I already have two. I don't need a third. Please, for the love of God, I can't do a third one.
I was talking
I
about Black
can't.
Box Down.
I know. Well, anyway, we need to wrap up the podcast. We've
We
been
do.
recording a while.
It's a good time, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, where we end up somewhere. We might
Maybe-
get lost, might not. We'll
maybe,
see.
Maybe Annie's Cafe, maybe
Maybe
some
that
other
place you were
places
talking about, even though I don't wanna go there.
Ooh. Well, I want to go there at the same time we went somewhere today. Spoiler. All right. Good night.